All right. So, kind of shocked this one, but let's just say there's a reason why could not be putting out red pill content anymore. Just couldn't. And these facts are why, and why I couldn't take Kevin Samuels seriously anymore. Hearing him talk and more information like this. Let's get into it. Fair use.
Kevin Samuels is an image consultant, dating guru, YouTuber, self-proclaimed business advisor, and life coach. His content gained popularity for talking to his livestream viewers. They would call in and he would tell them to their face if they were high or low value in a very harsh manner.
I really just wanted some advice. I love your
I'm giving you advice, but you're not taking it. The advice is, ma'am, you're average looking at best.
I'm taking it in, but
Okay, but you're not accepting the fact that average looking women, average looking woman who's older, average looking woman with a 13-year-old son with a sketchy baby daddy. And now you're asking for a man who's in the top 10% of men. You don't qualify for one.
sometimes I feel like
Then you're gonna die alone. How about that? Let me just cut to the chase, ma'am. You can feel like what you want to, but women like you die alone. Straight up.
After this clip went viral, his audience snowballed from 100,000 to over 1 million subscribers on YouTube in less than a year. His live stream also jumped to 20,000 plus concurrent viewers. He also has 1,700 people paying to support his content on Patreon every single month. So it's very clear to see that Kevin Samuels has a lot of influence, especially among the youth. This self-proclaimed professional takes his projected image of luxury very seriously, so if you want to criticize him, you better not use any of his clips.
To the people who keep uploading my content off of Instagram and stuff like that, look, I've said it before and I say it again. I'm not even asking anymore. You're just gonna get a strike, and I hope they take your channels down. This is a business that we do over here. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get on into it. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Buck fair use, Kevin Samuels is running a business here. Kevin is also a Christian, often talking about how intimate he is with the faith.
I was over singles ministry at three different churches. Yeah, I grew up in the church. I am very well. I was baptized at 5. Very well versed in what I'm about to go into.
Did you hear that? He got baptized at the age of 5. He's basically a level 99 Christian. Christian Kevin utilizes his influence to advise young men on how to maintain marriages through the Lord's gospel of cheating on your wife.
Why did the women who were married 40, 50, or 60 years have husbands that cheated on them? Because it's part of the deal with being a man. Do you want to be with one man for the rest of your life, or do you want to have to keep switching?
I want to be with one.
Then guess what? He's likely going to cheat. What he chooses to do, as long as he's taking care of home, is none of your business. You're going to have to deal with some stuff. You don't want any pain. No pain, no gain. I mean, you're old enough to know better. How tall are you?
I am 5'8".
Dress size?
16.
All right, you broke the first rule right there. I don't know what you think you're talking about, that a man shouldn't cheat or whatever, when you broke the first rule.
My thing is this: he says all this stuff, but I mean, what about a man wanting to cheat? I mean, a woman wanting to cheat. Now what? She's a high value woman. She should have options as well.
The men want women who are fit.
Sure, cheating may break one of the 10 commandments of the Bible, but everybody knows that infidelity is the foundation of a functional, happy marriage. And that's why it causes 20 to 40% of divorces. It's not like someone's faithfulness would affect how they're valued by their partner in a relationship or something. But I am sure that Kevin knows what he is talking about with his self-proclaimed vast knowledge of Christianity.
I was baptized at 5. Very well versed in what I'm about to go into.
Some other godly advice from Kevin the Christian Samuels on how to maintain a successful marriage is for women to behave more like dogs, and especially in the way
The scary thing about this is that he's influenced this. These Manafort dudes know they have young boys coming from broken homes, young boys that got to deal with toxic crap. And instead of teaching them balanced, healthy things, you teach them a one sided view, which is extremely toxic and very much like feminism. Yet you're trying to be away from feminism. You say that, but you teach the same toxic traits. It's just the fact is that you're a feminist with a penis. That's it. And how could you speak on the dead? Hey, I found this clip and there's things in here that I'm shocked about. All right. And basically, Kevin Samuels is a low value man's, especially a black low value man's Jesus Christ. That's what it is. Yeah, he tells men to do well and improve themselves, but when they get to that point, he tells them to be the same toxic person that black women complain about and keeps the cycle going of toxicity within the black community. The only women that will probably take him seriously are the women who are low self-esteem and can't really use critical thinking skills. All right.
that dogs cannot say no.
Generally, men are looking for women who are cooperative. And what does that mean? That you say yes. Say yes all the time. Yes. Don't ask questions. Just say yes. Why do men like cats and not dogs? Because dogs obey. You ever caught a call a cat?
Yeah, they don't. They don't.
Right. A cat's called man's best friend?
No.
Meow 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 meow.
Not at
No,
all.
what's called man's best friend?
A dog.
Right.
This is not surprising because Kevin Samuels also promoted this man who wrote this article about how you should physically discipline.
Say yes. Say yes all the time. Yes. Don't ask questions. Just say yes. Why do men like cats and not dogs? Because
they
dogs obey. You ever caught a call a cat?
Yeah, they don't. They don't.
Right. A cat's called man's best friend?
No.
Meow 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 meow.
Not at
No,
all.
what's called man's best friend?
A dog.
Right.
This is not surprising because Kevin
Basically, you want women to, be dogs, and you're basically telling women to be, what? I mean, I'm shocked to seeing these clips of Kevin, and you can't say this is not him.
Kevin Samuels also promoted this.
Okay. So this is simple worthless check, financial identity theft, worthless check, financial identity theft. Wow. Donovan Sharp. Okay.
This man who wrote this article about how you should physically discipline your woman.
I would have hauled off and I would have just decked her. Dude, I would have broke this fucking face. Real fucking talk. This is the problem with women. If an American woman did some like that to me, I probably would have hauled off and decked her. He's a better man than me. I'd have punched the bitch. I'd have been like,
This is Donovan Sharp. Okay. Of the Sharp reality. And it's just proven. Hey, this is why the manosphere and the red pill are a freaking joke now. Keep saying it. It's just male feminism. Okay, that's it. It's just feminism with a penis now. That's what it is. Okay, you have feminists who want men to die, who want men to be aborted. Okay, you got Cynthia G saying abort all black male babies, and you got people like Donovan Sharp, and and you had Modern Life Dating that had a picture of him, of a woman that he harmed in a club overseas. Okay. And then when asked about should a woman, what should a woman do if she's being abused in her marriage, he says she should endure the abuse. Yep.
Like, you what? Boop. Dude. I'm not a violent person, but I would have knocked her teeth out for that.
And apparently, him and Kevin Samuels are homies.
I've known Kevin for years, right? I mean, I've known him for years. He's one of my best friends. I actually talked to him for about an hour, which is why I'm a little bit late.
You know what they say, you are the company you keep. So far, we are learning a lot about being a high-value man today. This is the list that Kevin Samuels provides for what a high-value man is. According to Samuels, a man's value has nothing to do with a woman.
High value man has nothing to do with women.
But in contrast, a
Hold on, let's
woman's
see that again. Let's see that again.
high-value man is
Money, $10K per month in Atlanta. Length of time, performance length of time, 3 to 5 years. Group acceptance by other high-value men. Network of high-value men first than others. Visibility, position, and income on LinkedIn level. Utility, useful to the group and others. All right. Okay, let's keep looking.
According to Samuels, a man's value has nothing to do with a woman.
High value man has nothing to do with women.
But in contrast, a woman's value relies on her sexuality and how useful she is to a man. And he also views women as just assets.
She is a feminine asset in her simplest form. To be an asset, you must be useful. Useful to who? Useful to a man.
He often tells single mothers that they lose value as an asset because they have children. However, I think that there are many outstanding women out there who are still high value after they have children. Would Beyonce be high value even though she divorces Jay-Z? I think most people would agree. And most people would still date Beyonce even considering that she has a child. In Samuel's defense, the women he has on are no Beyonce, and a reality check is in fact healthy. When Kevin grills women about being low value for having children, he is correct in the sense that less people will be willing to date you if you have children. However, this does not only apply to women, this also applies to men.
And that is what the manosphere does not like to say. They tell women, marry before you carry, but when it comes to men, men could go and sleep around with different women. It's in men's nature, all these stupid excuses. But when a woman wants to do her 304 phase, it's a crime. It's a cardinal sin. This is the nonsense that has to stop. Okay? But whenever you call it out, you are a simp. You are, they'll call you, oh, you're part of the rainbow gang. They'll say a whole bunch of things. Okay. To shame you. So the manosphere is just about, at times, just getting money, getting access to women, but to treat them like crap. There's no end game of marriage. It's basically, like I said, he's toxic Jesus to toxic men, especially toxic Black men.
Regardless of which gender you are, having children is a responsibility that not everyone wants to deal with.
Facts. And that's a lot they don't, and they brag about, yeah, man, yeah, she hit the wall. She hit the wall. But when you tell them, well, what about you? And what about the fact that you have kids? You are not high value in some women's eyes. Even if you do have money, some women don't want to deal with being a stepmother or, whether girlfriend or wife, they don't want to deal with it. And for some reason, the manosphere doesn't want to deal with that. You got men on social media, Facebook, they hate when you say that.
So surely Kevin, who is a single father, considers this when appraising his own value, right?
So
Well, where would you rank yourself, Kevin?
I rank myself a 9.
Okay.
Well, I guess having children doesn't affect Kevin Samuels' worth, since he dipped out on his daughter and didn't support his child for quite some time. According to court documents, he left Oklahoma and yeehawed his ass to Texas, giving no notice. Thank God being a deadbeat dad doesn't lower your high-value man status.
But being a deadbeat mother, these men will just dogpile a woman. Okay, this is a hypocrisy here. When I was doing red pill content about it, you know, I looked at it as a place, you know, men could talk and possibly do better for themselves as individuals. But the more I learned about it, the more you assess, it's just like, hold up, you guys are no better than the feminists, and you know better than the women that you complain about. You just want access to women, but to treat them as discardable objects at the same time. No better than feminists or women who are toxic who do the same thing. Then want to come up with excuses and move the goalposts when people call you out on your stuff.
Kevin Samuels may be twice divorced now at the age of 51 years old, but he doesn't have to have a successful marriage, apparently.
Why am I not married? Because I'm not. Why? I mean, how are you supposed to answer that question? Why are you not married? I've been married twice. Why? Is that not enough for you? Why am I not married? Because I don't have to be yet.
But you know who does have to have a successful marriage? Christian women.
See, that's hypocrisy with Kevin Samuels. Okay? The way he acts like this, why should you listen to him? Why? Like I said before, if the manosphere was, you know, if the manosphere had a body of rules, they had a bunch of gatekeepers where you had to have a certain reputation, you had to be, you know, a certain type of character. Kevin Samuels could not get close to it. He wouldn't be able to make a dime. And because there's no real rules or laws or checks or balances when it comes to the red pill manosphere, it's a free-for-all where nonsense prevails.
We're Christians. We chose to be that. So I cannot sit there and say I agree that you're saying that a woman should not feel bad that she's not married or whatever. At some point, you need to have a husband if you're a Christian.
Kevin
First off, every person is not meant to be married. Everybody doesn't have the makeup to be married. Everybody does not have the makeup to be someone's girlfriend or boyfriend. That is life. Some people don't have that makeup. They don't. It's not in them. They do not have the capacity to do so. All right. And Kevin is making himself look like a clown once again. Whoever brought him into the manosphere, I heard it was OJ Duke Jackson who brought him into the manosphere. Not sure. But you're just putting egg on your face. And on the faces of black men who actually are doing well, who actually are being a good representative of having a black family. Okay? And you're just a bunch of minstrels. And for the guys who support Kevin Samuels and just vilify people who stand up and call him out, you got to ask about yourselves. What is the real reason why you like Kevin Samuels? The false validation of being able to trash women, but you really don't want to work on yourselves?
Kevin is not only once, but twice divorced for irreconcilable differences, and that means that two people cannot get along. I really wonder why a woman would not get along with a man who wants them to act like a dog. After all, I thought dehumanizing your wife was the key to a successful marriage.
How long did the second marriage last?
3 years.
Why did that end?
Same reason most of them end, irreconcilable differences. There's nothing real salacious to tell about it. You just
You need to completely submit to his authority. Question nothing. You are not his equal. You're not his partner. You're his helpmate. And the best way you can be helpful is to say yes. Yes. Yes.
Who, like I said, he's low value black Jesus to low value black men. No woman in their right man is going to take this information in, and no man in his right man is going to take this information in. Yes, men and women are different, equal in respect, but we do have, that's what we're different. We have gender roles for a reason. There's a reason we have gender roles. We're not equal, but we're supposed to be treated equally with respect. And this guy right here is just, Kevin Samuels is proven dude's a fraud. But he said some right things, though. A broken clock could be right twice a day. However, this stuff right here, he's dead wrong. He can't be trusted. Imagine if he went mainstream. Imagine if the manosphere actually went mainstream, got up to be on Dr. Phil, Oprah, or any of these people who have a platform outside of YouTube. They would be eaten alive.
Completely submit to his authority.
In Kevin's world, women always have to bend over backwards for men, let them hit them.
And the thing is, look, this is the part that gets me with him. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the way he dresses at times. Look at this. I'm sorry, but he screams flaming. Dude's flaming. I ain't talking Human Torch from Fantastic Four. The dude is flaming at times. Flaming.
Them, cheat on them, and give up their entire integrity for men who dehumanize.
High value men cheat. That's wonderful, but you guys are crying about women cheating. So should high value women cheat? And I bet you they'd say no. You're being the people that the men that women complain about. How does that help the problems with the divide between black men and black women? How does that help? How does that help with the culture wars?
Humanize them, and how dare they want better? When women have basic standards for wanting to be treated like a human being, that's entitled, and if you want that, then you're gonna die alone. But men can get anything that they dream of and desire without ever having to compromise for anything.
You're going to have to compete for him. You're going to have to stay hot, beautiful, feminine, fit, friendly, cooperative, submissive. All those things you're going to have to invest, sacrifice, and do all these things just to hope to land his last name. And you're going to have to accept the fact that even after you get it, you're going to still have to put up with other women and him.
I have to say, trying to learn how to have a successful marriage.
Nobody in their right mind would ever come up with that and say that. And think you'd have an audience. Like I said, if he was on Hot 97, let him talk that nonsense. See what happens. He would get demolished. Especially if Angela Lee was still there. She's not there anymore. She has her own show. Hold up. You saying that a woman has to deal with being cheated on? But what about if a woman wants to exercise her options. Oh, she's a hoe. She's this, she's that. You would get, man, it would just get ugly. Ugly. Heinous. Like I said, these guys better thank God they never made it to actual mainstream where they have to be face to face with a person with an actual legit following. Okay. I mean, yeah, Oprah, her following was a bunch of women who hated men, you know, but she actually has credentials. I don't think he'd measure up. I really don't.
From Kevin Samuels is about as effective as trying to learn how to fly from a fox. Perhaps Kevin
or the fact of him being on The View. How would he, you know, how would he deal with that? How would he survive? Or being on the show, I forgot the name of the show where being on with Lonnie Love. How would he fare against going toe to toe with Lonnie Love in a debate? How would that happen? How would that turn out?
should have made videos about the mistakes he made in marriage and how to avoid making them, as opposed to how to have something he's never had. At least he has experience in that. As we take a foxtrot through Kevin Samuels' divorce,
that makes a lot of sense. I mean, he would have had face, and if he dropped these nonsensical points of a woman has to be basically a doormat to be with a good man, and be honest about his shortcomings, he would have been okay. Guess we'll never know.
Divorce documents, we can see that High Value Samuels made $800.
Whoa, wait. So he was making $892, and his girlfriend, his wife, I'm sorry, the second one he was with, making $2,448. Just talking this high value man crap. This is why the manosphere, once again, is just a hot, flaming, bad product. That's what it is. Bad product.
$100 a month, while his 23-year-old wife was the breadwinner, making almost triple what he made during that time, and she was the one supporting the family. So I wonder why Cashless Kev is talking down to this kid that is 20 years old making that same amount that Kevin was making at 34 years old.
How much money you make?
Like 400 every 2 weeks.
400 every 2 weeks. So you make 800 a month. You make less than $10,000 a year.
But
okay?
how many 20-year-olds was Henry?
Hold on. Dude, I was a 20-year-old and I was making far more money than that. In the 80s, where minimum wage was $3.35 an hour. So I need to hear it.
But nowadays, we can see that Cash Money Kev is the pinnacle of luxury. I mean, look at that banner he uses for his YouTube page and for his luxurious website. If you're wondering if the video is buffering, it's not. It's just the 340p quality of the banner, and it's 340p because Kevin Samuels seems to have stolen this image from luxury brand Tom Ford. He uses it not only as his YouTube banner and for his personal branding on his website, but he also uses this banner on his LinkedIn profile. I thought that Kevin hated it when people stole from him.
So let's lay it all down. So thief, okay, 2 times divorced, and you're faking the funk saying you're a high value man, but your second wife made more than you. Okay.
He has disclaimers.
Oh, and you support men acting like the abusive wife-beating piece of crap from the movie The Color Purple. Okay? You're acting like you support men acting like Harpo. That's basically what you're for. You're pro Harpo.
All over his live stream saying to not use his content at all, or it's stealing. So why is he stealing Tom Ford's image? I mean, they're running a business here.
This is a business that we do over here.
On this high-end website of his, how much do you think Kevin Samuels charges for his consultation? Well, you can get 1 hour of coaching from Coach Kevin Samuels for a modest sum of $1,000. For $999 an hour, you can get his expertise in business, dating advice, or style. That's right, you can look like this for $1,000. You may not like it, but this is what peak masculinity looks like. He's really selling the image of luxury, as you can see here from one of his Instagram photos from his professional Instagram page. And it must be working. One of his fans, pictured here, paid $10,000 for his advice. And no, this is not a troll.
$10,000 for things you could learn possibly online for free, or just basically find out for yourself?
He is a proud Samuels supporter.
How much would you say you spent with Mr. Kevin Samuels?
Guesstimate, I would say probably in between upwards of $10,000.
$10,000?
Upwards of, yeah.
Wow.
But if you can't afford the luxury of spending $10,000 on advice, then instead you can pay $100 to his Patreon. That's right, you can have the Kevin Samuels, fashion extraordinaire, neg you for 10 whole minutes. But before you buy that, I will say that one customer of Kevin Samuels did not seem too happy. They basically say that conman Kevin tries to pull a tea house scam in this review that they left. A tea house scam is when you go to a cafe and order tea and or soda without being shown the menu or prices, and then the restaurant inflates the prices on the bill. If this review is genuine and truthful, then that's not very cash money of Kevin. So what exactly qualifies Kevin Samuels to be charging such luxury rates for his services? Well, Kevin Samuels claims to have graduated with a chemical engineering degree, but he must have forgotten to graduate because according to the records here from the National Clearinghouse, an independent company used for degree verification by employers, they say he did not complete his degree. Kevin also claims to have had an engineering job, but that he quit because he hated the work, not because he didn't have the degree.
Found out that, academics was going to help me get scholarships and things at college, went to college for engineering. Yeah, did the normal stuff, but I hated it. I quit my job in engineering, decided to start waiting tables at Papado.
So how exactly did Kevin Samuels manage to get an engineering job despite not having the degree to do so? Well, I don't know, but maybe you'll have to pay $10,000 to find out. After proclaiming to have had this chemical engineering degree, Kevin Samuels admits that he dropped out due to cancer.
You go to the University of Oklahoma and you studied chemical engineering. And you graduated?
No.
Okay, you dropped out.
Dropped out. You could say, yeah, I had cancer.
So if you dare to hold him accountable for lying about an entire degree, well then guess what? You're the ass. Kevin claims to have decades of experience in corporate America, so let's go ahead and take a look at his LinkedIn, considering his credentials he's already talked about. On Kevin's LinkedIn archive as of August 10th, 2020, 2 of the 3 companies he lists as collectively having 10 years of experience in don't even have profile images. Seems legit. In the 3rd company he lists, Yellow Pages, he has the incredibly high status position of sales. You can say that his resume is imposing at the least. I mean, really, a personal shopper, a personal stylist, these are incredibly masculine jobs for his masculine brand.
Hey, sorry, man. He's not the bastion of masculinity, black masculinity. I'm sorry, he's not. And a lot of people just screaming mad. And when you say that, you got to question what team do they play for? And I ain't talking about, the Raiders or the 49ers, if you know what I mean. Those aren't masculine jobs that he has. They're not.
I mean, that is some high baller shit right there. I bet his fan is so happy that he paid $10,000 for the advice of a personal shopper. But you know what? Let me stop myself because I'm getting into the territory of pocket watching, and that's only okay when Kevin Samuels does it.
It's a shame that Cynthia G has more patrons than almost all the black men in this sector of YouTube. Where I come from, it's called pocket watching. And why are we talking about somebody's money? We're all here to make money, and I make no bones about it.
I don't know why he's complaining and crying over another system making money. I mean, I thought that was his whole shtick, was telling the black community the truth to help them. So why isn't he happy for her? Sorry for criticizing. I forgot that Kevin Samuels does not like to be criticized, which is why he only picks low-hanging fruit to have on his stream. It is far too dangerous for Kevin Samuels to have to climb up the tree to get fruit that's a little bit higher in quality, because he knows that he will fall, and that the bruise he gets from that to show for it wouldn't be very good for an image consultant. Whenever someone even slightly intelligent calls into Kevin Samuels' live stream, he will often hang up on them, or he will move the goalposts.
My disagreement is every time when you have a conversation with a sister or something like that, you always throw saying if it was Marisol or Becky, she would behave, her voice, this and that. They're crazy too, you know.
Okay.
They're crazy women.
Okay, there are crazy women everywhere. But I speak in broad generalizations that are broadly true for most people. 7 billion people on the planet. I can't speak for everything. That's ridiculous.
Well, I understand that part, but it's just in general the bigger picture for me.
Okay. What's your disagreement?
The only thing.
Wow. That's how you're going to act? That is how you're going to act? What? Boy. People will still defend him. You got black folks on this YouTube that will still defend him. Okay? This man was a scammer. People like, you know, O'Shea Duke Jackson probably defend him. MTR, you know. But that only shows that you're frauds yourselves. This gravy train of fake masculinity can only last so long. Fake gurus.
The thing I disagree with is I remember watching the videos when women were talking about the colorism thing and you were denying it. I've dated dark-skinned women.
Dude, I'm talking to men tonight.
Yeah.
Men's issues.
First he said, call in if you have a disagreement. Now he says the disagreement has to be about men. And you'll notice when he can't defend his position, he's going to move the goalpost a few more times.
So the issue with the men that I disagree with, which is on topic, just giving a high-value man like a green card to cheat, saying like it's okay for him to exercise
When
his
have I ever
options.
said that? When have I ever said that
thought
high
it-
value men get a pass on cheating or exercising options?
No.
When have I ever said that? High value men.
I said that. What's wrong, man? Wow. I wish I had these clips a year ago if I found out about this. I really wish I did.
Men cheat. But it's not called cheating. It's called exercising options.
Kevin's brand is
And that's the type of man that was brought into the black manosphere that's going to be influencing young, impressionable young black men about what masculinity is. This is disgusting. This is embarrassing as a black person. This is shameful. How does this stop the single mother epidemic? How does this stop the deadbeat baby daddy epidemic? How does this work for the black community that's in shambles? The parts that are not rich, the parts are on Skid Row. How does this work? How does this help them out? when we have an economy crashing, we're going into a cashless society, and we got some toxic crap coming from Canada in a cloud, some smoke that we don't even know if it is smoke. How does that help? How does that build a two-parent home where the man is masculine? We're going to figure out a plan to deal with this. Oh, no, I'm too busy exercising my options on cheating, and, I'll find a way for I will survive, but I don't know about you and the kids.
Highly regarded by his fans for telling the truth. So why is it that Kevin is unable to accept his own harsh realities and accept criticism? You have to wonder if Kevin Samuels has a problem handling facts in general, and if his brand really is about telling the truth. In this clip, you can see that he talks about how the beauty of Black women is correlated with the golden ratio.
Fallacy. Beauty is not subjective. That's why we have the golden ratio, the Fibonacci equation. You can map their facial structure, and it goes to a mathematical calculation. And the thing is, we're talking about Black women. They are on the opposite end of the spectrum on all ranks.
But this study shows otherwise and concludes that there is no overlap between Brazilian and Black women's attractiveness and the golden ratio. He talks about how Black women do not get married to high-value men. This was also disproven because 88% of wealthy Black men marry within their race. And I know that Kevin wears glasses for his poor vision, but I didn't think that he was this blind. He claims that he does not see Black women being abused, and therefore it pretty much doesn't happen.
I'm tired of hearing this bullcrap. I'm sorry. I don't see Black women being physically abused. Never really have.
Meanwhile, he's friends with this guy.
You're gonna humiliate me? Dude, I would have knocked her fucking teeth into the back of her throat. I would have fucked her up. Dude, give me a 10-year fucking prison sentence, man. I would have fucked her face up.
Not to mention that African American females experience intimate partner violence at a 35% higher rate than of white females. I thought that Kevin Samuels' brand was all about telling the truth. Well, I have to say, by ignoring reality, he is definitely not helping the Black community that he claims to be helping. He gives paid advice for relationships and life coaching despite not having a degree in family planning or psychology. He claims to be knowledgeable about the Bible, but constantly contradicts its teachings, and even telling his followers to break one of the 10 commandments.
Men of value cheat because they should. We need to stop calling it cheating, and we should just call it a benefits package. It's part of the compensation for being a high value man.
He gives.
I think he hates women. It's being real. You gotta hate Black women. You gotta hate women, period, to think that's good advice to give. That's how I see it. You gotta hate women to say these things. Black men eating this up because they really don't want to. The Black men who eat this up, I ain't saying all Black men. The Black men who eat this up are the men that really don't want to compete, really don't want to better themselves to get good women, want to make excuses there are no good women. Are you guys feminists? Because they do the same thing. There are no good Black men. You know? There are, but you don't want them, because that means you have to change. Just like there are Black men who say there are no good Black women. There are good Black women, but you would have to raise yourself to a higher standard to get with them. You can't do the things you want. You can't cheat on them. You can't do things that you feel you should be justified in doing. That means you have to be a good man, a good black man, and you're not willing to do that. That costs too much. Just like the feminists, the women complain about there's no good black men. There are good black men, but it costs too much to be with them because you can cheat on them, you can't do things to them and not pay the consequences of getting shamed or cursed out or things that you brought on yourself. So you make excuses. That's it. And it's sad too, because it seems like, the manosphere just spits out toxic jargon. They tell them a little bit of a little bit of positivity, but they bank on the negativity. Tell you, yeah, get your stuff together, get your life together, get your health in order, get your mental in order. But nah, you shouldn't get married. It's the divorce rate and stuff. You shouldn't get married, because they want you to keep coming back to them. If this truly benefits you, they lose out because you're not going to keep coming back watching their videos because they'll be healed. They'll have accountability for themselves to pick better women. It's just like the feminists. The feminists don't want you healed and, want women strong. Nah, they want women bitter and hanging on to feminism and emasculating men and living in probably a broken home or a home that's on the way to divorce. So you could be for the twisted agenda. It's kind of like Big Pharma. There is no money in cures, only treatments. Treatments that really don't do well for you in the long run.
Paid business advice with no finance degree, and getting lucky on YouTube is not a valid credential to charge $1,000 for business advice. I also question Samuels' projected image of luxury, considering that he uses branding that isn't even his own. Should we listen to Kevin's advice on the basis of him being a personal shopper or salesman, or perhaps on his degree that he apparently doesn't have? Is his influence truly the best for the welfare of the black men that he panders to? Is his influence the best for the Christian community that he orients himself to? Does his advice for young men to dehumanize, hit, betray, and disrespect their wives reflect the lessons of Jesus Christ? Should his Christian followers look to find a father, perhaps instead of looking to him, they should look to Christ?
There you have it, folks. There you have it. I knew there was issues with him, and I just didn't take him seriously anymore. But this is just straight up, this dude, he needs to be canceled. He's not even worth giving a funeral for. Let me know what you think in the comments. Later.